All right, so not too long ago, I used to look like this. Now I look like this. I want to share some Looksmaxxing tips for you guys to glow up and look better, okay? Let's begin with the most baseline foundation of this whole thing. You can do all different hacks and tricks, but if you don't have your nutrition dialed in, you're not gonna be looking your best, because without a good nutrition, everything just falls off. Right? So make sure you're eating enough quality protein, and the best quality proteins are literally red meat, chicken. Make sure you're getting enough eggs, and also fats like avocados, stuff like blueberries, that watermelon. So generally, rule of thumb, you can eat meat, fruits, vegetables, and healthy fats like avocados, nuts, whatever. Also, here are some hacks for you. So you can also make your own ice cream at home using this thing called Ninja Creamy. And also another hack is if you want to suppress your appetite and eat less food, drink coffee, right? Drink coffee every day. Personally, I don't eat for the first 5 to 6 hours each day. Right now, I still have not ate anything, and I'm just finishing up some of my work. I always do fasting in the morning. So what I do in that period, I literally just drink coffee. So there's another thing you need to know. What beta carotene does, it helps you get natural tan. So eat sweet potatoes and carrots. I eat them every single day with majority of my meals, and it's delicious and it makes you look more tan, especially if you live in countries where you can't really stay tan the entire year. That helps, trust me, that helps. And another thing is avoid sugar and processed foods. These things will literally make you look ugly, and we all have some friends who can literally eat gummies, McDonald's, and still look great. But usually after they hit 30, 35, they out of nowhere become ugly. How many times you ate McDonald's or gummies and you woke up the next day in a crazy fatigue, and also your face is just stuffed and it looks bigger, it's not sharp, it's not clean, and you don't feel like fresh. You feel terrible. So instead of these stupid gummies, eat enough fruits as you want. It's literally impossible to get fat from fruit because you're most likely not gonna overeat that many fruit, right? Hydrate. That's pretty common knowledge. Get enough water each day. That's just self-explanatory. I never understood people that are not drinking enough water and it's a problem for them to get enough water intake. I've not even added avoid sodas in there, but that should be obvious to not drink any sodas at all. It's just like a big no if you want to Looksmaxx, okay? Because you're gonna look like a fat pig if you if you drink soda. Training. So when it comes down to training, you don't need to train like a bodybuilder, right? You don't need to do these crazy workouts. You can literally train 2 to 3 times per week, focusing on your shoulders, back, chest, arms, and also I have not added squats there. And squats, honestly, one of the best things you can do for legs and one of the only things you need to do for legs. I don't see a point of trying to grow crazy big legs, right? Just make sure they're looking good, smooth, aesthetic, and that's it. And when it comes down to shoulders, overhead shoulder presses gonna make your shoulders look rounded. Pull-ups is honestly one of the best things you could do for your back. I don't see a point of doing anything else. Over time, level up your pull-ups game by adding some weight, so doing some weighted pull-ups. And also for chest, I honestly recommend just doing inclined chest exercises. So you can do it inclined with a Smith machine, with a barbell, or with a dumbbell. Okay. Now, shoulders to waist ratio. There's honestly one of the most important things. Making man's physique look the best is you want to have wide shoulders and your waist pretty tight. So I don't have that myself personally. There's genetics play a big part in there, but to achieve this byproduct, you need to train your shoulders, of course, and you need to look up for your diet, because abs, you can train abs. That's great. I recommend also including some abs exercises, but abs are made in the kitchen, guys. Like if you just stay in caloric deficit and you don't overeat too many calories, your abs is going to be visible and shown. So for example, for me, I don't have that crazy ratio because my waist is not that, it's naturally a little bit more puffier, as you can see in this picture right here, right? Maintain visible abs or flat stomach. So that's pretty simple to do. You just don't want to eat too many calories, right? You want to count how many calories per day you can eat to maintain and do a slight deficit, and your abs is gonna be shown all year round. Fix your posture. So to fix your posture, I think one of the best things you can do is literally just hang before the training. So you're gonna achieve a stretch before training, especially if you're training shoulders that day or training arms is a good way to stretch. Just hang on the bar like that and hang for as long as you can. Try to like work your way up to like 2 minutes. It's also very healthy for you. Jawline. Okay, so jawline, I've seen these all kinds of things like mewing and stuff. I never done it myself personally. And I think I have a pretty good jawline myself. And whenever I don't see my jawline, whenever I lost my jawline, is usually when I ate too much processed foods and sugar. I think jawline is just like a byproduct of eating healthy and clean. So as long as you do that, as long as you have training regime that I showed you, and you also constantly progressive overload with your training, adding more weight, getting stronger, your jawline is just going to be a byproduct of your training and of your diet and nutrition. Okay. Now, haircut is very important. Now, the haircut you see now has been like hundreds of iterations of different haircuts. Look how much my face looks much different by having a different haircut. And by the way, in this picture on the left, I was eating a lot of processed foods, a lot of stuff that I, shouldn't be eating. And I also had a terrible haircut, let's be honest. And now, once I found a style that fits me, everything became much better. Another tip I'm going to give you guys, whenever you see a haircut that you like and you go to the barber and you're like, yo, I want to look like this, make me this haircut. Most of the time, something that fits other person is not gonna fit you. So you're gonna have to try different styles to find what works for you. And most of the times, like majority of the time, you're gonna find that something that you never even thought is gonna fit you, is gonna fit you the best. So instead, like you always want to find a good barber and ask the barber to shape your haircut around your head shape, right? It's definitely not one size fits all, and you have to find your own. Sea salt spray. So if you have longer hair, I found that spraying your hair after you had a shower with the sea salt is one of the best ways to have a texture and this kind of like to make your hair look better throughout the day, to not start looking weird. So what I do is I always spray some sea salt on my hair after a shower. I let it just stay. I dry my hair with a towel, and after that, what I do is I add some clay. Okay, and that's it. And that's everything I use for my hair. Skincare. So every day I use a acid cleanser. So I apply acid cleanser on my skin, on my face. I leave it for 10 minutes. I wash it with a cold water. I instantly apply a vitamin C serum on my face. And after that, you just add some moisturizer cream. And that's it. That's all you need for skincare. If you don't have a proper diet, proper training, and proper hydration, this is just like putting a makeup on a pig, right? If you're eating like idiot, this is not gonna help with your acne or skincare. I used to have acne myself. I used to have pimples myself, and everything was solved first by getting enough hydration and good food. This also helps, but it's like 20%. Okay, the most important thing is what you put into your body. Tanning. Okay, so if you can to tan every day, I would tan every day, but I live in a country where there's only like a summer season. But tanning makes you look much better when you, like, honestly, you look much better when you are tanned. You also feel better. Your body starts to look better. Okay, so even if you have some fat, let's say your body fat is like 15%, you're still gonna look ripped if you're tan compared to if you have no tan. So if you take a person who has 15% body fat, one is tanned, one is not tanned, the tan one is going to look like he's on like 12% or 10% body fat. The tan makes everything look much better. Dress for your body type, okay? So this is another thing you have to figure out yourself. I honestly recommend dressing not like this, like I like this style, but just the more casual and the more minimalistic you can dress, the better, because you're gonna know how to, you don't need to think too much about finding clothes combinations, okay? What I recommend is just look at Zara, Massimo Dutti, and Uniqlo. These three stores have the best quality to price, especially Massimo Dutti, right? I have some stuff from Massimo Dutti that I bought a year ago and it still look brand new. Find clothes that are, without these crazy logos and have no logos and fits you well. So again, this is something you have to try yourself. And this another thing, even if you look at these guys in these pictures and you think, yo, this looks good, let me find something that looks like this. You're gonna dress up like this and it's just not gonna fit you. Sometimes stuff that looks good on others, not necessarily gonna look good on you. So we're gonna need to find what works for you in this case as well. But again, Massimo Dutti, Zara, Uniqlo, honestly, one of my best recommendations for you guys. Use accessories. So as long as you're not overdoing it, so maybe one bracelet, one watch, or maybe even a necklace, just like in this picture, and it just makes everything look even better. And of course, smell good. That's obvious, right? So here are some of my favorite fragrances. So Blue Chanel is just like classic, one of the best ones, honestly. And Dior Sauvage, Sauvage. Again, I'm from Europe. I might be pronouncing this in a weird way, but these two are my most favorite. Also, yes, Saint Laurent is a good one. Put it this way, if I could choose only 2 fragrances for the rest of my life, it would be Blue Chanel and Sauvage Dior. That's it. And if you want to build aesthetic body, watch this video right here. I'm going to show you the best things you can do to build aesthetic body.